What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is They went from the 4th level of hell and sent us down to the 7th level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike.
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was gonna stop. I thought Lil Bird was gonna turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably up in prison. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Van Zant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. If you have my DMs, I do want to see if you have some blue thong or blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
I guess it wasn't about the price of eggs after all. Anyone who's been involved in planning a wedding understands that seating arrangements are important. They are significant. They are embedded with meaning. And where you put people on the inaugural stage is a strict definition of where you think they rank. And so it wasn't a trivial thing that the wealthiest people to ever walk this planet, who control our communications platforms, were seated in front of the cabinet itself, which, by the way, has a few billionaires and 100 millionaires, but not as wealthy as the people in front, with proximity to power. And that's the point we have to underscore today, which is it was never about reducing the price you pay at the pump. It was never about reducing the price you pay for your mortgage or your rent or your insurance or your grocery bills. It was always about cutting Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, Social Security, public education, in order to pay for the largest tax cut in human history. That's what this is. They are ripping you off.
You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So love now, I want to fight. That he gave, his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe
major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Oh, God. This is where we are, people. This is where we are. We're here. This is where we are. I hate when I'm as right as I am. But this is where we are. This is where the hell we are. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience. Buckle up, buttercup. Here we are. Here the hell we are. Okay, here the hell we are. Buckle up, buttercup. We're here. Let me say hey to y'all. We got a lot to go get through. We got a lot to get through today, y'all. Listen, I told y'all I'm here for y'all. I am here for you all. Go ahead, press the like button, share the video out so that it can get the widest distribution that it can. I don't know how YouTube is doing today on notifications, but it's going to become intimately important, demonstrably important, that we have this platform and these forums with which to disseminate information, with which to share as a community of individuals of like minds and like interests how to fucking navigate. That is job one from now until there's light at the end of the tunnel. Making it through the day, protecting ourselves and our community, and doing all we can to save ourselves and our loved ones. We're here. We're here. We are here. Let me say hey to y'all. We got a lot to go down, a lot to run down. We ain't even got time to play around. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim, you are first today, honey. I hope everybody is keeping warm. It's cold as hell. Complex 613 is already in the building, sitting in her front row seat. She ain't even playing with y'all. Hey, Therese. If you see Tanya or Tracy, I ain't even got to tell them. We need edibles just to make it through. Tanya, can you just pass out the edibles now, please? Tanya, go in the book bag and pass out the edibles. Tracy, go in the book bag and get your mini shot. We don't even need no mini shots. Just pass out some solo cups and just start pouring until they say enough. Okay, no less than a double shot. I'm just saying. Here the hell we are. Hey, Universal Goddess, what's going on, my love? Looking lovely as ever. Hey, Paul, what's going on, Paul? Hey. Tarshell is here. You back, girl? You look like you had a good time with your friends, with your rich friends, rich best friends, Tarshell. I saw you over there, girl. Hey, Lady D, what's going on, sweetheart? Looking good. Tamara is here. We always love to see her. We got CK Amelie here. We got Red Bird here. Katrina is here. Lovely 31 Blueprint is here, and we love seeing her. Montrez, what's good, bruh? What is up? Child, Tracy W, he'll be back. He'll be back, Tracy W. He'll be back. You know he is. Child, how you doing today, Tracy? You love that me, child? Because that's just where I'm at. That's just how I feel. This is where we at, DPG. You hear me? That's where we at. I'm just leave it up there for a little while longer because this is where we are. Hey, Terica, what's going on? You know, Diamond Pearl Jim, it's either going to be that meme or this one of the two. One of the two. I think I like this one better. This is where we are. This is where the fuck we are. Hey, Terica, girl, you looking good perched up there on that bench right there. I see you, Terica. I see you. Hey, J12, aka, what's going on, sweetheart? Hey, Monk Chip Boo. What is going on? Harold. Hey, girl. Hey. Samira. You know I'm always glad when I see you in the building, honey. I'm glad you got your proper seat. Jay Parrish is here. How you doing today, Jay Parrish? How you doing? Candace F is here. We got Tawana D here in the building. Jeannie is here. Ciao. We all here. We all just here. Hey, Janae. Hey, Janae. Girl, Janae, ciao. Ciao. You say that look like you on those long froggy nights? Ciao. Jason, what's good, bruh? Ciao. Oh, you sitting in the back today? Complex 613 say it ain't one of the front row days. Baby, I'm sitting in the back today. I can't even do it today. I hear you. I hear you. What's going on, little baby? Little baby was playing in the snow on her channel earlier today. Y'all go up over there and subscribe to little baby. She was over there playing in the snow this morning. Listen, I didn't see it, Samira. I'm gonna be honest. I did not see it. He threw a shot at Olay. You know Olay is not gonna let that go unnoticed. You know Olay been dog walking Mayor Adams for a minute now. You know she gonna drag his ass like only she can. I love me some Olay. She gonna dog walk his ass. Watch. Child. You did you some retail therapy, child. Not they fighting over the meds, God. Lord. Child. Oh, y'all. Oh, listen, y'all. We got to do it. We got to start off here. We are, listen. Larry, come on back, Larry. Yeah, Larry, come on back. Come on back, Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender-conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major Sugar Spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major Sugar Spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major Sugar Spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. And here we are. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. Hey, Mr. Pisces, what's going on? Mr. Pisces, you know, I'm thinking at this point, Mr. Pisces, you may be thinking to yourself, why the hell did I move over here to this god-awful country? You may be considering going back because you like this dumpster fire, this shit show they got over here. The fuck I'm doing over here. I'm just telling you. Can I go over there with you, Mr. Pisces? I just want to know. Can I go back over there across the water? I'm just saying. I just want to know, Mr. Pisces. You say he caused the snow. I don't know, but what I do know is listen. I can't help, but this is my sentiment right now. God, just help me, Lord, please, Lord. Oh, all right. We got it out. All right, now we focus. All right. We done cried about it. We done whined about it. Listen. Let's do this. Let's talk about it.
Now listen. Now listen. This is happening. Now, let me say to you all, because we are community, we have a shared space, we have a shared community, we are in this thing together. Let me tell you, this is why, pay attention to me. And I really need y'all to hear me and pay attention to me when I say this. I have been screaming for to you all since November the 6th. Since the year of our Lord 2024, the month of November, the day was Wednesday, the 6th of said month. Ever since that day, what did I say to you? I said, as Black people, we cannot afford to take days off. Hey, grown woman, don't try me. We don't have the luxury and the liberty to say, oh, well, I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna sit here and just mind my business, because that's the Hispanic people problem. That's their problem. That's what they voted for. And I'm just gonna sit here and not be involved in this process and let this shit burn to the ground. We cannot afford that. And that's why you see me get so angry and so passionate when I see our people saying, well, I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna it ain't none of my problem. You want to know why? Because last night, under the cloak of darkness, this happened. What is this? I'm glad you asked. Let's talk about it. In the year of our Lord, 1965, the sitting president was none other than Democrat by the name of Lyndon Baines Johnson. That was his name. He passed Executive Order 11,214. What is Executive Order 11,214? I'm glad you asked. I'm sorry, 11,246. I'm glad you asked. Now, that was the executive order that basically got to be known as the Equal Employment Opportunity Executive Order. It has been in existence since the year of our Lord 1965. No president since Lyndon Baines Johnson has ever thought to revoke that. That includes Richard Nixon. That includes Gerald Ford. That includes Ronald Reagan. That includes George H.W. Bush. That includes George W. Bush. That even includes the 45th president, who happened to be Donald John. Now, the 47th president, God King Donald John, said, oh, you thought we were fucking around before? Well, we're not anymore. So now he has rescinded and revoked Executive Order 11,246. What did that executive order said? Essentially, it said it prohibited federal contractors, quote, who do over $10,000 in government business from discriminating in employment decisions on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin. End of quote. Executive order went on to say, uh that and I'm going to summarize. Basically, you are not allowed to discriminate against people on the basis of any of those things: sex, religion, sexual orientation, race, color, gender identity, or national origin. All of that was there. those were protections. Because in the year of our Lord 1965, guess what? Women weren't being hired because they were women. Black people weren't being hired because they were black. People weren't being hired because they were Catholic. Because back in the 60s, being Catholic wasn't a popular thing. Being Jewish was not a popular thing back in the 60s. So that could have been a reason that you weren't hired. We're not going to even go down the sexual orientation route. Now, they're pushing and promoting merit-based because we don't need to have anything protecting people's of minority groups. Everything is merit-based. Problem is, the only people who garner said merits have the big five. How many times have we talked about the big five over here? Because a lot of white people fall into four of them, but not all five. The meritocracy that they are now pushing on us, this merit-based system, means that you have to have all five of the infinity stones. White, male, heterosexual, Christian, and people forget the fifth one. What is the fifth one, pupils? The fifth infinity stone is rich. That's why I played the video right after the intro. Whole lot of white people voted for Trump thinking that it was just a big four, forgetting that you have to have all five. All five. Whole lot of white men out there got four, but they ain't rich. And even if they do got a little bit of change, they ain't rich enough. So now we all got to sit up here and endure this fucking shit show. We all have to sit and endure this shit show. Let me tell you all, this is why I've been screaming from the rooftop. Black people, we cannot fucking afford to sit this shit out, to get tired, to say, oh, it's too much for me. I'm tired. I don't want to hear about politics. They just doing too much. It's too much. What if our ancestors, some of who never even lived through the right to see freedom, some of who died horrible and horrific deaths, hoping and wishing, dreaming and believing that their future descendants could possibly see freedom. What if they decided to do like the fuck some of y'all are doing, saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, it's too much, I don't have this type of time, I just can't, oh my God, no, we do not have the right to sit our asses on the sidelines and say it's their problem, because now it's our problem. Now, because guess what? When you remove the federal guardrails, when you let me paint you how this is about to go. Now that the federal guardrails are gone and there's no federal protection for equal employment opportunities, now it rests on the states. And you think the red states aren't already don't have anything in place to protect you, or are aren't about to remove all of those protections? So now it'll be not only on the federal level, but it'll be on your state level. And now we will have outright, in your face, definitive, I'm not hiring you because you black. Nope, you a woman. We ain't in the business of hiring them. And there's nothing we can do about it at this point. Nothing. So while people are out here talking about, oh, it ain't my problem, oh, I'm gonna sit this one out, oh, what, we don't have that luxury. I told y'all back in November when we lost the election, what did I come up here and preach to you people? I said here on this platform that this would be our opportunity to see what our generation is going to do. How the fuck are we going to respond? Because our ancestors did what they were supposed to do. They fought, they bled, they died. Like I said, some of them never even saw the freedoms that we have today. What the fuck are we going to do? Because there's a whole lot of people talking about what they should have, could have, and would have did back in the day. And we see what they're doing now. They are silent. They're saying, I'm tired. I don't have the energy. I can't get into politics. It's too much. Oh my God. I'm so afraid. I'm so fearful. They're either doing that or they're saying, they're doing like this. This ain't my problem. This ain't our problem. Well, now the fuck it is. Many of us have children out here, family members, loved ones that are either in school, K through 12. Some of them are in college. Some of them are recently graduating, looking for jobs. This should scare you. And when you and the proof in the pudding is when backed into a corner, what the fuck are we going to do? Are we going to sit our asses back and say, well, I guess we got to deal with it? Well, or are we going to fight? Let's see what the fuck our leaders are doing. Because I wanted to see on a day like today, when you have things like this getting repealed, what is the Congressional Black Caucus doing? These are people elected by us in droves. What are they saying about this? Pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. The chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, she had a little small statement that she mentioned about affirmative action being tossed out. Yvette Clark, she said, quote, MAGA Republicans have set their sights on cutting off access to economic opportunities for Black and minority communities in the federal government, on college campuses, and in corporate America. End of quote. She went on to say, quote, this wasn't even about the repealing or rescinding of Executive Order 246. This was about the ones from Monday. They haven't said anything about Executive Order 246 going down. That's what she said about the executive orders on Monday. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. Here the hell we are. I told y'all yesterday, we can't count on these people. Did I not come up here yesterday and told y'all that one of the executive orders now allows police to go back to doing no-knock warrants and putting chokeholds on us? I told y'all that's allowed now because he repealed an executive order. Nobody said anything about it. Now we have Executive Order 11246 that's going. Let's see who's screaming from the rooftops about it. Because what should be happening, every Black organization, anybody who considers themselves a leader in the space, who cares about us as a people, should be screaming fucking holy hell. I don't expect the white people out here to be screaming holy hell because they don't give a damn about us. I don't expect the Latino community to give a damn because they seem to believe, all of these other minorities seem to believe all of these things just affect our Black asses, not realizing that had it not been for Black people securing these fucking rights and laws, they wouldn't be able to afford any of the laws and rights that they have. So once again, we have to be the savior again. And people are, I see Black people saying, oh, well, we can't be the savior no more. We ain't gonna do nothing else. We just gonna sit our Black asses here. We don't have that luxury because ain't nobody gonna fight for us and they're gonna strip away our rights. You sitting on the sidelines does not mean they're not gonna strip away your rights, Black people. So we don't get the luxury to just sit our asses down and say we're not going to do it this time because they're going to take our rights and the rights of our children and loved ones away from us. I just want to know what these people be doing out here when they make all of these statements about what they are and are not going to do. That's what I be wanting to know. That's what I be wanting to know. Like, it baffles my mind, y'all. It baffles my mind. I ain't even looking at the comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm spiking out. I ain't even looked at the comments. Oh my God. State of being right. All of these people out here. All of these people. And you know what's so funny? Some of these people seem to believe that, oh, well, these are the people who seem to believe, well, we didn't have a need for those laws anyway. America's wonderful. It's beautiful. Nothing to see here. We live in the land of freedom and opportunity. We're in the meritocracy, and I've earned it. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps. In a meritocracy, they should see the merits of my work and my experience, and they'll totally allow me to have these jobs, right? Wait on it. Wait on it. Oh yeah, that happened. That happened yesterday. Yeah, that happened yesterday. All federal employees that are that have a job that involves DEI, yeah, they were put on paid leave, and they're about to be reassigned and or fired. The head, the top DEI officer in the executive branch, she was put on paid leave, reassigned, and sent somewhere else. She was also the first female uh, uh, head of a branch of the military. Yeah, this is happening. You got all of this. Is why I do not negotiate with people who tell me that I need to play nice with these people on that other side. These people don't mean us no good. These people do not mean us no good. This is why you cannot go over there saying, oh, it's just the president and it's a privilege for me to be over there with him. No, the fuck it's not. I mean, it's ridiculous. Listen, y'all, we cannot afford to do this. Now, I'm glad you said that Aquarius is the only real sign. Half of the people who on paper say that they're members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus ain't really progressives. They just wanted to be able to put that on their resume so that when they go campaign, they can technically say they're progressive and try to garner the votes of progressives. Most of them ain't really progressives, let's be clear, to include Hakeem Jeffries. So this is happening. This is happening. My question is, what are we doing? What are we going to do about it? How are we going to galvanize around this? How are we going to organize around this? Because yes, I had a lot of black women, and rightfully so, who said we ain't about marching with them raggedy ass white women last Saturday, talking about they want reproductive rights back when they voted against reproductive rights in this election. So, Missa, I get that. But our black asses, as black people, we have to organize, because what we have right now as black people, even though there were 92% of black women and 80% of black men that voted, those were just the people who voted. There are millions of black people who are fucking checked out of this whole government situation. They're checked the fuck out of what is happening in Washington, D.C. And this shit is happening literally in the cloak of darkness, because this was signed, the rescinding of EO 11246 happened last night under the cloak of darkness. the stroke of a pen, rights are being obviated. And people are asleep at the wheel. How are we now going to galvanize? How are we now going to get ourselves in place, gear up, and say, we are here for the fight? And I don't think that we have the luxury of being like some of our forefathers, even Martin Luther King. Even Martin Luther King, toward the end of his life, said, I'm not here for no more of this peaceful protest. Even he moved away from some of his ideologies. If you listen to Martin Luther King about a year to 18 months prior to him dying, he was a whole different person than the Martin Luther King you saw at the Washington Mall in August of 1963. He talked about sending his people into a burning building. So we as Black people have to position ourselves in positions where we can certainly make a difference. I understand Black people only make up 12%, but Black people have always only made up even through, excuse me, even through abolitionist movement, Jim Crow, the civil rights era. We've always been a minority. We've always only made up a fraction of the American populace. However, that doesn't stop us from being effective. That doesn't stop us from fighting for our rights and our protections. Because otherwise we just lay there and let it happen. And I'm not the type of person that's just going to lay there and let it happen. You know what, D Johnson, that's gonna involve a lot of money, because there are a lot of HBCUs that are state funded. I know, for example, Florida only has one state funded HBCU, and that's FAMU. But if you go to a state like North Carolina, has a whole lot. South Carolina has a whole lot. Texas has a whole lot. Tennessee has a whole lot. Georgia has a lot. A lot of HBCUs are state sanctioned, are part of the state university systems. They are not private, they are public. And so that means that probably money, we're talking about in the billions, that would need to be raised and or garnered with which to fund all of those HBCUs that would have to go from public to private. I mean, there's just that I don't know that that's feasible, because that type of money just isn't in our, that would take a whole lot of money, a whole lot. But listen, they about to start messing with people's livelihoods. People, listen. And I heard Really B talk about this yesterday at on her live. The largest employer of Black people is the United States government. There are more Black people employed by the United States government than any other entity in this country. And now that all of these people and their jobs and livelihoods are at stake, what now people are going to wake up? For example, when this executive order 11246 got rescinded, there were doctors and nurses over in Virginia that wanted to go and work for this is just coming out, that wanted to go and work for the VA, one of the VA hospitals over in Virginia. They were ceremoniously told, yeah, we're not going to offer you that anymore. We don't have to. And that's simply because they were Black. At least that's what's being reported. Now, I don't know if there's more to that story, but multiple sources are reporting that. This is not a drill. This is not a drill, people. This is why, even though none of this may be our fault as the black delegation, we're here. And we cannot fall asleep at the wheel. We cannot get weary and well doing. Even when you're tired, you got to fight even when you're tired. You got to fight even when you're tired. We got 4 years of this and some, at least 2. And I got to think. I got to think incrementally. Some might say 4. I'm going to say we have 2026 to change Congress. Something's got to give. Something got to give. We have 2026 where we can change the face of Congress if need be. Now is the time, and not only can we change the face of Congress, most states have their gubernatorial elections in 2026. So we don't have to wait till 2028 in 4 years. We don't have to wait that long. There's an election cycle just next year where most gubernatorial elections will be happening in 2026. Most of them. Most of your state houses and state senates, your state legislatures can be flipped next year's election cycle. Congress can be flipped next election cycle. So we don't have to sit here and talk about waiting 4 years. We don't have to put up with this fuck shit for 4 years. And that's what I need people to see, because I hear people even on major outlets saying, oh, well, we got 4 years. We don't have to have 4 years of a fuck thing. And that's what they want you to believe, that you just got to sit here and hashtag Bohica, bend over, here it comes again. We ain't got to sit through that. Right. Virginia and New Jersey has an election, a gubernatorial election this year. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, Virginia. That black lady that's running for governor, she's a Republican. Winsome, whatever her name is, Winsome Sears, I think her name is, she's MAGA. That old black lady who looked like somebody's grandma, she's MAGA. Don't fall for it. She's MAGA. If you live in Virginia, please understand. So, child, this is happening. This is white America, especially those with the 5 infinity stones, have been waiting for a president like Donald Trump that will put more money into their pockets and into their coffers and allow them to have government sanctioned racism, just like we did some 60, 70, and 80 years ago. They've been waiting for this opportunity. Like, we cannot fall asleep at the wheels. So what we do is we have to galvanize in the local areas. We have to find out what entities in our local areas are already, and that's what if I don't do it in my live tomorrow or this week, I may be able to do it on Silly Saturday. But we have to start to look into organizations and entities within that we can find in our local areas that are starting to do some of the groundwork and grassroots work, that are still right now working to change the face of some of your state legislatures, to change the face of Congress by getting people out there and getting people put in positions of power that are going to help us in the fight. Because if you are not here screaming from the rooftops, if you are not here speaking truth to power and just laying down, what are you doing? I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a perfect example of how I get mad. Yesterday, remember yesterday I talked about how Marco Rubio got a unanimous vote by the Senate in his confirmation and his fuck shit. Remember how upset I got? I have to look at people like Angela Also Brooks and Lisa Blunt Rochester. Y'all have 6 years to go. Y'all not up for re-election until the year of our Lord 2030. Y'all don't have to bend over and take it. Y'all don't have to bend the knee and go with the rest of these people. Y'all could have been two people that said, yeah, we're not here for the fuck shit because we don't have no attachment to Marco Rubio. We ain't served with him. He ain't here for me and my people. I don't have to vote for him. Fuck him and fuck his life. I would have voted no on him. You don't have anything to lose. You're not up for re-election again until 2030. What are they going to do to you? They're not going to even remember in 2030 how you voted against Marco Rubio. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Enough of the going along to get along. And I'm of the belief, if you tell me as my congressman, as my senator, that you just going along to get along, why are you here? You ain't serving me no purpose. We have more stuff that we have to be concerned about. More that we have to be concerned about. So, the Trump administration has said that has ordered federal health agencies to go dark and go silent. Oh, yes. Cease and halt all communications. That includes the FDA, that includes the CDC. Now they're claiming that, oh, well, if there's an extreme emergency, they'll be able to get some guidance out. Really? Really? Shall I remind you all during 45's administration how he told the CDC what to do, what to put out there, and the CDC, yes, that's the Centers for Disease Control, who are supposed to be governed and guided by the science, were governed and guided by God King Trump and what he told them to put out. So people in some of these health agencies like the FDA, the CDC, the National Institute of Health, the NIH, I should say, these entities will bend the knee to whatever this man says. He's going to put all of his people there. So what that means is, how are we supposed? He's already pulled out of the World Health Organization, WHO. He's already pulled out of that. He's told all federal health agencies just go silent, go dark. Oh well, they'll be okay. What happened? We have rising bird flus coming up. There's this respiratory virus that's going around that nobody wants to talk about and everybody's ignoring, but doctors and scientists around America are sounding the alarm to no avail. What's going to happen when the next epidemic or pandemic comes around and millions of people are losing their lives? Because people seem to have forgotten that this man was responsible for 1.5 million people losing their lives because of the way he handled COVID. These people have very short attention spans. Thank you, Janae. We got our medical expert, Janae, in here. Polio's on the rise. It's all kinds of stuff. It's all kinds of stuff going on. And they're telling these agencies, yep, go dark, halt all external communications. We don't need you giving no guidance or nothing. We'll tell you when we need you to put something out. That's dangerous. I mean, one should hope that at least health agencies would not have to fall prey to the whims of these nefarious miscreants. But now we have to sit and figure out whether we can trust the guidance of agencies like the FDA, the CDC, and the NIH. That is scary. That's even scarier than what we talked about before, because now we're talking people's health. We're talking actual people dying, their health, and all of the guidance that we get to try and keep people safe and healthy. That's safety to life issues. This is happening. So while people are saying, well, I'm gonna just sit this one out, real things are happening. We cannot afford to sit this stuff out, y'all. The federal health agencies have been told to go dark until told otherwise. Mainstream media don't give a fuck thing about us. They ain't saying shit. And like I said, you have to know where and how to find the right sources of information so that you can be informed. And I thank God that we have people in our community here. We got, Janae and others in the chat that work in these industries and can come on and say, hey, let me talk to y'all about, this that's going on. Since they're not telling y'all this in the mainstream media, nobody's sounding the alarm. Let me sound the alarm within the community so that you all can be informed and you all can protect yourselves and protect your family. We have to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities. That's not all. Well, many of us have family members, loved ones, or you yourself may be in the military. Well, this Pete Hegseth situation is getting worse. So apparently, it wasn't enough during those hearings when they didn't want to hear anything about the women that said that this man was a pariah, that said that this man did horrible things. Now we have more people from the Hegseth family that are talking. Let me read this to you because this may alarm you. Senators received an affidavit Tuesday, that's yesterday, from former sister-in-law of Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth, in which she says his behavior caused his second wife to fear for her safety. The receipt of the affidavit comes after Senate Armed Services Committee staffers were in contact with Hegseth's former sister-in-law for several days. The former sister-in-law, Danielle Hegseth, submitted the affidavit in response to a January 18th letter from Senator Jack Reed, Democrat of Rhode Island, seeking a, quote, statement attesting to your personal knowledge about Mr. Hegseth's fitness to occupy this important position, end of quote. Senator Reed, the ranking Democrat on the Senate Armed Services Committee, asked Danielle Hegseth to detail what she knew of, quote, instances of abuse or threats of abuse perpetrated against any other person and mistreatment of a spouse, former spouse, or other members of his family, end of quote, among other requests. Senator Reed said in a statement Tuesday, quote, as I have said for months, the reports of Mr. Hegseth's history of alleged sexual assault, alcohol abuse, and public misconduct necessitate an exhaustive background investigation. I have been concerned that the background check process has been inadequate, and this sworn affidavit confirms that fact, end of quote. He added that, quote, the alleged pattern of abuse and misconduct by Mr. Hegseth is disturbing. The behavior would disqualify any service member from holding any leadership position in the military, much less being confirmed as the Secretary of Defense, end of quote. Danielle Hegseth describes in the affidavit allegations of volatile and threatening conduct by Pete Hegseth that made his second wife, Samantha Hegseth, fear for her safety. Among the allegations are that Samantha hid in a closet once Pete Hegseth, she hid in a closet once from Pete Hegseth, that she developed escape plans for use if she felt she needed to get away from him, that would be activated with a code word that she did once put the escape plans into actions. The lady had a whole code word to her family and friends because she was that concerned for her safety and had an exit plan, an escape plan, not exit plan, escape plan. At least 15 senators, including multiple Republicans, have reviewed the affidavit, and that's as of 2:30 today, according to staffers. 2 days before members of the Senate received the affidavit, news outlets asked Pete Hegseth's second wife, Samantha Hegseth, to comment on details of some of the allegations in the affidavit. In an email response Monday, Samantha Hegseth said, quote, "First and foremost, I have not and will not comment on my marriage to Pete Hegseth. I do not have representatives speaking on my behalf, nor have I ever asked anyone to share or speak about the details of my marriage on my behalf, whether it be a reporter, a committee member, a transition team member, etc. I do not believe your information to be accurate, and I have CC'd my lawyer," end of quote. Asked what information was not accurate and for more comment on the affidavit, she replied on Tuesday, quote, "There was no physical abuse in my marriage. This is the only further statement I will make to you. I have let you know that I am not speaking and will not speak on my marriage to Pete. Please respect my decision," end of quote. Now, that wasn't Danielle Hegseth. That was Samantha Hegseth, the second wife. Okay? This is but what do you expect? Hell, y'all got Justice Brett Kavanaugh over there. He's sitting over there with a black robe on the Supreme Court. And we know he sexually assaulted someone. Y'all ain't give a damn. You got Clarence Thomas over there on the Supreme Court. Why the fuck wouldn't you have a known drunk, a known sex offender at the helm of the largest military on the globe? A man who's never led an organization over more than a few dozen is now in charge of 3+ million people and all of the nuclear codes and the largest army this side of heaven. I just, because he doesn't have any lapses in judgment, because we're about meritocracy, right? Because all of his history merits him getting this, right? Because every organization he's been a part of has gone under fiscally, but you want him to be responsible for a budget of almost $1 trillion. The defense budget is nearly $1 trillion. It's like $850 billion, damn near $1 trillion. And you want him in charge of that. But he couldn't balance the budget of organizations of just a dozen people. I just can't with y'all. Hey, Miss Shorty B. This is the meritocracy. But he has the big five. He has the 5 infinity stones. In more news, this is happening. So, Congress's professional fluffer, the woman known for giving hand jobs in the movie theater, Representative Lauren Boebert, out of the great state of Colorado, she's in the news. Why? Because as the January 6th terrorists were being released from jail yesterday, where was she? Standing outside of the jail where they get released so that she could ceremoniously invite them to tours of the Capitol building. private tours of the Capitol building so that next time you want to overthrow the government, you'll know where all of the secret entrances are. You'll know where all of the members of Congress will be hiding so that the next time you won't miss the opportunity to go ahead and kill those people who you tried to kill before. Because last time when y'all came in here to overthrow the government, you forgot to smear the hallways leading to the entrance of the Senate chambers and the House chambers. You only smeared the fecal matter and the shit on the walls of the rotunda. You forgot to smear shit on the walls of the corridor to the speaker's office. So she wants to give them private tours. What are you going to be doing, Miss Boebert, on these private tours? Any slurpage going on there, ma'am? We know you like to give out hand jobs in dark areas. See that video of you jacking off whoever that was in the movie theater. Yeah, this is a sitting member of Congress who are inviting actual terrorists and insurrectionists to private tours of the Capitol building. On these private tours, I'm sure she'll have the good knee pads on that day. Right, Miss Boebert? You're going to make sure to have the good knee pads on. You'll make sure you got the extra good lube or lotion to lather up your hands before you give these hand jobs, right? You'll make sure you take your lozenges so your good throat is good and lubricated, right, Lauren? Because this is what we got going on in the halls of Congress. Mind you, this fuck bitch was a member of Congress when this happened. She was in the Capitol building when these people tried to take her life and the lives of members of Congress. And she sees no problem with the fact that many of these people maimed and killed police officers because you all are so pro-police. You're all about the thin blue line. You people are way out of order. I'm just saying. I don't know what y'all want from me. In other news, because it don't, and you don't stop, and you don't stop. This is happening. Well, the Pentagon is now sending 1,500 troops to secure the U.S.-Mexican border. Oh, yes. They're sending troops now. Now that we have declared the southern border a state of emergency, now we can deploy active duty military there. So 1,500 troops will now be sent to help secure the southern border. I mean, what do you want from me? This is happening. This is happening. Yep. Those troops, yep. They've also authorized 4,000 troops of the National Guard, 4,000 more National Guard troops to the southern border as well, in addition to the 1,500 active duty military. They're there to help with border patrol. Just want you to be informed. In more border patrol and in more news of these raids that they got going on, well, now your president 47, Jesus God, I mean, they have now said that federal immigration agencies can make arrests at schools, churches, and hospitals, ending a policy that had been in effect since 2011. So now your schools are not safe, hospitals is not safe, nor are churches safe. So you could be over there shouting. Listen, you could be over there in your church getting a good shout in. Baby, I hope you got your papers. You ain't Haitian, are you? Because we need to know. Because otherwise, come see us. They waiting for you in the foyer. They already hemmed up the usher board. They waiting for you in the foyer. Oh, you in your church? Getting a good shout in. Come see us in the foyer. Ma'am, get up off that floor. We need to see your papers. Now, let me talk to my my Latino members of the Latino community, my Haitian brothers and sisters as well, but certainly my members of the Latino community and the Muslim American community. And the reason that I'm speaking to those communities is somebody may look at them and make an assumption about them, whereas a lot of Haitian Americans may look like African Americans. And so it may be a little harder to differentiate a Haitian American from an African American person. But if you are Latino and or Muslim American, guess what's about to happen? The same thing that happened to black people before 1863, where any black person walking around, even in the North, had to show freedom papers. Remember those days? That's what this is. This is taking you back to a day when in this country, you had to show as a black person freedom papers. And guess what, Latino community? Those of you that voted for this man, you voted to take us back to a time where they asked you for freedom papers, basically. They may say, oh, we need to see your citizenship or your alien card. This is just back to asking people for freedom papers. Now, let me say to the black community, what happens? Because some people said, well, this ain't my problem. I ain't got nothing to do with this. You do realize that Haitian Americans and some people from the continent of Africa look like us as well. And who's to say there's not going to come a time when they're not going to come looking for Haitian Americans and looking for those from Africa that immigrated over here and start asking our black asses, where your papers? Don't think they won't do that. Please don't think that they're beyond doing something like that. I'm just saying. Please don't believe that they are beyond this, because this can happen. This can happen. I'm just saying. A mess. A mess. a mess. Moving on. There's no safe spaces anymore. And some people say you're safe in your house. You do realize that I just told you they rescinded the executive order that got rid of no-knock warrants. So please believe that they will have a no-knock warrant if they believe that you're in there. So your home is not even safe anymore. I just read yesterday that they did away with no-knock warrants. You think they won't come busting your door? And they've already said that the Department of Justice is going to go after local officials if they impede and get in the way of ICE doing what they needed to do. Speaking of where we are on these ICE raids, well, let's bring you up to speed. According to Tom Homan, your newly appointed border czar, as of this morning, he said that they had already detained 308. ICE had already detained 308 unlawful immigrants. That was apparently confirmed by Harold's senator out of the great state of Alabama, Senator Katie Boyd Britt from the great state of Alabama. Now, today, they were supposed to be doing raids in Chicago, in Los Angeles, and in New York today. I believe Boston and Miami will start tomorrow. But I know they were supposed to do Chicago, Los Angeles, and I believe New York today. This is happening. That's your update. Listen, that's why I say we can't sit back and say this ain't our problem, because many of us have family members affected by that could be affected by this. They're not going to try to validate. They're going to act first and ask questions later. They're going to snatch people up first, and then they're going to ask questions later. Oh, we messed up, and you weren't an illegal immigrant. Oh, our bad. You could just go on home. Find your way back home. It'll be all right. We're here. Here we are. Denver. Thank you, Ronald. Denver was another one they were supposed to be starting in. Thank you, Ronald. And where you been at, Ronald? Rolling up in here all late. Child. But you know, these white people are very bigoted and very racist. And the reason that I'm saying that to you is if you have the wrong look, you too high yellow and your hair looks a little too Hispanic looking to them. If you look Mexican to them or look Hispanic to them or Latino to them, oh, they ready to lock you up and ask questions later. I'm just saying. Just saying. In more news on the raids, up there in Yana area in Kentucky, this is happening. What's happening in Kentucky? Well, let me show. Do I have this up yet? Hold on, y'all. See if I got this. Oh, yeah, I got it. Here it is right here. So in Kentucky, what do you have? You have the Ku Klux Klan. Oh, yes, because they've been emboldened. They are distributing flyers in Kentucky telling immigrants to leave now because your president has ceremoniously made it open season for the Klan. I mean, we're going back to the days of Woodrow Wilson with the Klan having parades on Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh, you want to see the flyer? Here's the flyer. Let me move the banner out the way so you can see the flyer in its entirety. That's what the Ku Klux Klan is putting up all around what is that? Maysville, Kentucky. That'd be the Trinity White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Uh-huh. This is happening. This is what y'all got going on. This is what y'all got going on. This is happening, people. And here's my thing. This is why I tell us as black people, we cannot sit this one out. You think the Ku Klux Klan gonna stop at just Latino people? You think they ain't coming for our black asses either? Let's continue. Let me move on to my people within the Rainbow Coalition compound, because it's a lot of people in my Rainbow Coalition compound. They're only concerned about, my only concern is what time the club gonna be open. Well, those of you all down to the Rainbow Coalition compound, this is what you find now when you try to go to the former pages for the White House website referencing LGBTQ and HIV related resources. There was a White House dedicated website that would have resources and pages to promote LGBTQ plus identities and HIV related resources. All of those pages have been taken down. The removed content includes essential resources such as the White House's equity report, information on expanding access to HIV prevention and treatment, and Pride Month acknowledgments. The Department of Labor's LGBTQ plus workers' rights page and the State Department's LGBTQ plus rights pages have also been taken down if you were looking for them. Because I heard a lot of people saying, well, I don't speak Spanish, so it's not my problem if they took down the Spanish version of the White House. Oh, they taking down everybody's stuff. Everybody. It ain't just them. Oh, I got to take the flyer down. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me take the flyer down. Sorry. My bad. Yep. Let me talk also to listen, those members of the Rainbow Coalition compound. Let me talk to y'all for a second, okay? Let me have a real conversation with y'all. Y'all give me about 3 minutes to talk to my people in the Rainbow Coalition compound. Give me about 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Many of you all who have been born in the 21st century or very late 20th century, meaning if you were born after about if you're Gen Z or very late millennial, if you were born somewhere around 95 or later, many of you all do not know a world where there wasn't some form of tolerance or acceptance on a large scale of the gay community, of the LGBTQ plus community. Many of you all did not grow up in a time that I grew up in. And so many of you all don't know how to navigate those experiences. Many of you all are used to going to your prides and pride festivals and things. Y'all ain't grew up in a time back when some of us grew up when prides happened quietly, secretly, in the cover of darkness, so as to not have people being gay bashed, not have people lose their lives. Please be clear, we still live in America where you can lose your life, where you can be gay bashed, where you can be assaulted and have your life ended simply because you sashaying a little too much. You got a little too much limp in your wrists. Hey, David. I'm glad you back. I was just checking on you. So let me help some of my young LGBTQ plus people. Now is not the listen. Let me help y'all out because the government is not going to help you, and a lot of large gay cities are in red states, and the government is not going to help you out. Okay, now is the time for you to become vested in some of those organizations that you didn't feel you needed, the GLADs of the world, some of those other organizations that are out here doing the fight, in it to win it, and trying to help secure rights. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see none of those rights coming back within the next 4 years and probably longer than that. I'm just going to be honest with you. And so what that means is you got to know how to navigate in spaces to where it's going to be a safety to life issue. This is going to come out harsh. And I hate that in the year of our Lord 2025, I have to make these statements, but this is going to come out harsh. You know how as a black child growing up, especially if you're a black boy, your parents sit you down and say, baby, if the police stop you on the side of the road, your first job is to get back home safely. Don't move too quickly. Put your hands on the wheels. Keep your head down. Don't speak too fast. Don't speak too loudly. Don't bring no attention to yourself. Do whatever they need to do. So let me talk to my LGBTQ plus people. Sometimes when we leave in the clubs, you may need to gather yourself. Find you a jacket. I know what it was like. I remember the days. My friend, I never really dressed really feminine, but a lot of my friends back in the day, we talk about late 90s and stuff, they would go to the club and they would have a jacket ready. When they left the club, they would put on a jacket because they didn't want to call undue attention to themselves. Is that right? Is that fair? No, the fuck is not. But guess what they much rather would have? They would much rather have life, limb, and safety than say, oh, fuck that. I'm finna just do what I want to do. I'm just trying to help you understand what we had to live through. And some of you all are disillusioned to thinking that it can't go back there when it can. Many of us lived through the days where when you were in high school, there was no such animal as I'm going to be loud and proud, because being loud and proud meant you could have got beaten to death and become someone that they might have tried to name a law after, because we had members of our community being drugged by cars up and down streets. We have members of the community being gay bashed to the point where they were not recognizable and had to be identified by their teeth. And you can say we standing on business and standing on principle. You have to understand. Think about this. You do notice that they're removing a lot of queer television off of TV. You ain't getting a whole lot of stuff on television anymore that's promoting gay people. That's intentional. That's on purpose. They're telling you we don't want to see it. They're telling you we don't want to see it. And you could put your head in the sand, say, I'm going to go out here and do what I want to do. Baby, I love you. And we got to stand on community and we have to protect each other. And by me protecting you, I'm telling you, we are going to be in for a fight. We have a double-edged sword on us. We are black or minorities, and we happen to be gay. That's two things. They're looking for us. And I know you don't want to hear this. I know y'all like, we ain't going back in closets. I'm not telling you to go back in the closet. But what I am saying is we are in for a fight. And many of you all, and along the years, see, there's been this push in even within the gay. Now, some of y'all not in the Rainbow Coalition compound, so I'm talking specifically to y'all. You notice a lot of I preach a lot about some of these gay reality series on YouTube, and I get real angry. And sometimes when I do a panel, some of my fellow panel members say I be too hard on that community, on the community and the people on these shows. You want to know why? because over the years with a lot of these shows and a lot of times you see our representation, there's this push to be uneducated. There's this push that, oh, I'm just going to be this rapper or stylist. There's this push to not have some real tangible credentials and skills wherewith you can go and garner a livelihood and life and some money and some things like that, so as to not have to bear the brunt of the homophobia, bigotry, and discrimination that is rife in this country toward our community. See, when we had the days where we had to be closeted, we were taught you go to school, you get an education, you put things in your arsenal that will help you, be a productive member of society and really be able to get out there and find employment and do well for yourselves. But there's been this push away from that within our own community. And that's dangerous. And at a time like this, where we're about to probably go into a time where they don't want to see us, they don't want to hear from us, and they want us back in the closet. Even those people who had amassed certain amounts of money and notoriety from some of those jobs and positions, it's going to start going away. Corporate dollars are not coming our way anymore. They done did away with DEI. They done did away with all of the, we like the LGBTQ plus. All of the corporate sponsors, they're not going to be there for pride events anymore. There's no money in it anymore. So I'm just telling y'all, we have to listen. We have to stand in community. We have to have our eyes open, head on a swivel. We have to protect ourselves, and we got to get in the fight too. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. I got to move on. I just had to have a conversation with our LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters. So yesterday morning, Donald John and his they were doing the last bits of their inauguration celebrations, and they had a prayer. Sorry, y'all. They had the excuse me, prayer service for the inauguration. And that young lady you see on the left is Right Reverend Marion Buddy, right? And Marion Edgar Buddy, excuse me. She decided that in her sermon, as she was delivering her sermon, she wanted to speak directly to your president, loud and proud in his face. And here's what she had to say.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. The people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation. But the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
That young lady right there, the Right Reverend, spoke truth to power like no one in Washington, D.C. seems to have the testicular or intestinal fortitude enough to do. The woman sat flat-footed in that fucking pulpit right in his face and spoke directly to him, called him out, Mr. President. Hey, this is what I need you to do. This is what I need you to understand. That is the kind of stuff that you would see that the Jesus the Christ that they claim that they are followers of, that their religion is based off of. That is the type of thing that he would do. He would speak truth to power, saying, hey, the church is about compassion, not the fuck shit that you got the evangelical zealots talking about. This woman sat there and had the fortitude to sit there and tell him everything that he needed to hear, eloquently, with grace, and spoke truth to power. Well, he's upset. Now he's demanding an apology. Here's what he had to say. He went on Truth Social and lost his mind. He said, quote, the so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal migrants that came into our country and killed people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It is a great crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She is not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. End of quote. You should also know that Republican Representative Mike Collins of the great state of Georgia has called for her to be deported. He said on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, quote, the person giving this sermon should be added to the deportation list. End of quote. I thought you all were the ones who were Christians and you all were sanctioned. I thought God saved you from that bullet and ordained you to save America. But y'all talking sideways about members of the clergy. I'm just saying. This is what y'all are saying about members of the clergy, right? This is what we have going on. In our last Sugar Spiky story, y'all notice I'm already at 6:30. We're still on the Sugar Spike story. But this is what we have going on, y'all. Lord, I be trying to get through this, but we be having a lot to talk about, y'all. We be having a lot to get through and go over. In our last Sugar Spiky story, this is a story where I do have to speak someone's name. Y'all know I don't like speaking someone's name, but I have to speak his name. His name is Tony Cox. That's Tony. Last name is Cox. A Michigan sheriff's office is refusing to release details about shooting an unarmed black man 9 times in the back as he ran away from a questionable traffic stop, including evidence like body and dash camera footage which captured the shooting. But the Oakland County Sheriff's Office assures the public has nothing to worry about because not only did they investigate themselves and found no wrongdoing, another Michigan Sheriff's Office from a nearby county also investigated the shooting and found no wrongdoing. Right. Earlier this month, the victim's mother, Tammy Cox, filed a wrongful death federal lawsuit against the Oakland County Sheriff office, accusing deputies of violating her son's Fourth and 14th Amendment rights. The lawsuit states that deputies pulled him over because they believed the Ford sedan he was driving had been involved in a shots fired incident a week before. But the lawsuit also states there is no public record confirming there ever was a shots fired incident involving a four-door sedan during that time frame, indicating the deputies were possibly lying about the incident in order to racially profile the black man. The lawsuit was filed by Detroit law firms Perkins Law Group and the law offices of Joel B. Sklar on January 7th, listing the 8 deputies as John Does because their names have yet to be released to the public. The lawsuit states the attorneys representing the Cox family were allowed to briefly watch the body cam and dash cam videos, but were not allowed to maintain possession of the videos. In fact, the only piece of evidence released by the sheriff's office is an image of the video frame showing Cox clasping his empty hands together, pointing toward the deputies in a brief moment as he stepped out of his car in an effort to justify the shooting in the eyes of the public. But the lawsuit states the shooting was not justified. According to the lawsuit, defendant deputy sheriffs John Doe 1 through 8 rapidly emptied their weapons, shooting Tony Cox 9 times in the back, one of which pierced his aorta and killed him. While he was lying on the ground, Deputy Sheriff John Doe number 6 ordered Tony Cox to, quote, get up, end of quote, and kicked his lifeless body. None of the defendant sheriff's deputies attempted to resuscitate Mr. Cox. No weapon was found on or near Mr. Cox because he had none. No evidence of any kind connected Mr. Cox to any criminal activity, let alone the purported shooting 1 week earlier. Quote, how many stories are we going to have to deal with to understand that this is beyond implicit bias? This is just bias, end of quote. And that's according to one of the attorneys for the Cox family. Y'all see what's happening here, right? Y'all see what's happening here. Y'all see what's happening here. Let's move on. Well, yesterday, most of the South was under a bitter winter storm. That right there is Florida. Nope, that's not the North Pole. You see the palm trees, you see the sign, and you also see snow all over the ground and falling from the sky. That happened in places like Houston yesterday, New Orleans. They got several inches in Houston and New Orleans. Even parts of the panhandle of Florida, as far east as I know Tallahassee got snow. I know even Jacksonville got flurries. South Carolina got snow. A lot of places, central Georgia, parts of Atlanta and southern Georgia got snow as well. Put it in the chat if you would live in the South and you got snow and y'all not in a place where you normally get snow. Let us know. Little baby in that area in the panhandle, she say they got 6 inches. DPG say they got 6 inches of the fluffy stuff. So a lot of my friends that live in the panhandle, they took their kids out because Florida just doesn't get snow like that. Many of their kids had never seen snow or experienced it. So I saw a lot of my friends on social media with their kids playing in the snow and making snowmen and stuff. It was really nice to see. Normally, right, little baby, because normally if it does get some flurries or anything in Florida, it doesn't stick. But this snow stuck. Lake Charles, Louisiana, y'all got 7 inches over there? Yeah. Louisiana got a lot of snow over there, Natalie. No, a lot of snow over there. So people got to experience, some things that normally we don't get. But there's no but they say there ain't no global. They claim that because it's snowing, that can't mean that there's any global warming, because clearly that must be how that works, right? Oh, you talk about not you parts of New Orleans and Texas. Yeah, they got a lot. We got snow in Alabama yesterday. I think Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama got the brunt of the snow yesterday. Now they got some in Florida too. Florida got a good amount of snow too. Little baby up there in the panhandle. But yeah, that happened yesterday. Grinder, South Georgia, North Florida. Yeah, all of them got it. Grinder is on record saying that according to their statistics that they keep, January seems to be the most popular month for hookups. The second most popular month for hookups is August. So they say January is clearly when people are at their horniest and they want to get some hookups in. The number 2 month is August, and the number 3 month is July. None of the spring months made it. Nothing in February, March, April, May. None of them made it. July was number 3. September was number 4. And November was number 5. The more you know. Netflix is in the news because they're hiking up their prices again. Now for the top, they announced yesterday that they will raise prices for American customers, including the first price hike for its ad-supported plan. Meaning, even if you still get ads, that specific ad-supported plan will now cost $7.99 per month and not $6.99 per month. The price for Netflix's standard plan without ads will increase for the first time in 3 years to $17.99 per month, a $2.50 increase. Listen, they're robbing us blind. So David say, why is grinding? Oh, I know why it's January. You know, us Capricorns, they trying to tell all us Capricorn business. Capricorns are the secret freaks of the world. Listen, and you talk about a bunch of Capricorn birthdays in January. That's why it be so much grind to use, because we whole ass freaks. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Right, telling all our stories. Stay on our couch. Ciao. Are y'all keeping y'all Netflix plans? They say they going up. Also, the is the $19.99 plan going up to $24.99 now? This is why I got my pirate sites. This is exactly why I got my pirate sites. Which plan is going up to the $24.99, Uncle Jay? Is that the $19.99 plan that they moving up to $24.99 now? The fuck am I getting with all of this money? Do I get a blowjob or something? Can I get some porn on this fucker? I'm paying all this money. I ain't even got no fucking porn on this shit. I mean, give me some full frontal or something. Child, I can't even get a dick slip around this motherfucker. Child. Moving on. Christopher Maurice is in the news. Christopher Maurice said, what the fuck you not gonna do is slander my name. He filed a lawsuit. Listen, hold on. Let me pull that back up. Wrong one. Christopher Maurice filed a lawsuit against Entertainment Warner Brothers for $500 million. And that was based on because of that docuseries they had, Chris Brown, A History of Violence, that they showed. Well, he said that those things he said that those allegations were unfounded, and he's suing for $500 million. Now, the lawsuit was obtained by news outlets, and Chris Brown accuses the producers behind the docuseries of emotional distress through defamatory claims made against him in their show A History of Violence. I mean, he says he accuses them of libel and intentional affliction of emotional distress through defamatory claims. That's a lot. I don't know, Christopher. His lawyer said that the media is putting their own profits over the truth because he said that a lot of these things are unfounded. Baby, I don't know, Chris. I didn't watch it. Anybody watched it? I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I do not know. Did anybody watch it? I don't know what they lied about. I don't know if they had people come and testify. I don't be checking for Chris Brown. Unless y'all give me a Chris Brown sex tape, I'm not looking for it. I'm just being honest. And I really don't want to see the Chris Brown sex tape because I ain't no freak like you people. I just want to see it so I can come back and report on it. Y'all know I be having to report on this stuff for y'all. So I don't want to see none of this Chris Brown sex tape for my own personal gratification. I don't want to see that shit. I'm just here to report and do investigative reporting for y'all so I can show y'all what is out here. Okay. I think he gonna lose too, Samira. Can I get one of my hall monitors to go over there and check and see what time really be going live? She gonna kill me. I've been late the last couple days. One of the hall monitors, go over there and see what time really be going live. Dr. Bernice King had to dog walk y'all's girl, the walking STI. Sexy Red. Why? I'm glad you asked. Video game controller hobbles along unhappily with a broken arm. DF4, I don't even know what that means. Ciao. Thank you for the super chat though. Mommy, honestly, I just want to see just because. Here's what she posted. She claimed she didn't make it. She saw it and she just retweeted it because she thought it was cute. And Dr. Bernice, she put this out on January 20th. That was on Martin Luther King Day because she thought this was appropriate to put on her social media on MLK Day. Listen, I don't understand y'all kids. This is Xavier and Montrez, them people. I don't understand y'all, but the more they remove Black history from schools, the more you're going to have generations of Black people that grow up and not have any respect. Thank you, Yana. And not have any respect for our elders, for our ancestors, and for those people who allowed them the liberties and freedoms that they so graciously waste away. I'm just saying. She ain't shit. She ain't shit. I already told y'all I don't like this heifer. I don't know how she thought some shit like this. She over here holding hands and dancing with him. Now, you do realize that Martin Luther King was a whole ass married man, and there was a whole situation when he was alive where the FBI would try to break up him and Coretta because they knew he was around here doing what he was doing, while he was on the road, and they would try and get him hemmed up with Coretta. And hey, you go, got him. I don't know if that's supposed to be a club y'all in. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be, but that shit is inappropriate as fuck. Hey, Miss Trisha P. But you're going to have more and more of these raggedy ass kids that do stupid ass. I showed y'all the flyer where they had Dr. King face and Rosa Parks face up there on the flyer at the script club. Like, it's just so fucking ridiculous. Who made these kids? Moving on. In our last story of the day, thank God. And here come Xavier, rolling up in my class late. Kelly Price is not said Kelly Price, dear God. Kelly Rowland is in the news. So apparently, Kelly is being reported that Kelly say, you could be down there with that fuck shit if you want, Nelly, but what you not gonna do, you not gonna sing Dilemma. You not gonna have my good voice and my good name hemmed up with Donald Trump and his fuck shit. So no, you will not be doing that song down there. You can do all your other little raggedy ass songs, but you're not doing the one that we did together. Sorry. Now, an insider close to the situation is telling news outlets that that Kelly was stunned when she learned about Nelly's decision to perform at the inauguration and subsequently blocked him from performing their song Dilemma. I wonder if Patty had something to do with that too, because you know that's that song samples Patty's doesn't that song Patty Love and Eat and Want You Baby by Patty? Don't that sample isn't that a sample of Patty's Love and Eat and Want You Baby? I'm just asking. Okay, it does good. Okay, I'm thinking of the right song. Okay. I wonder. But I applaud you, Kelly, or as your mama named you, Calendria. We applaud you. You gotta take a stand on this fuck shit and say, no, bitch. You take your punk ass over there if you want to. Just don't play none of my shit, bitch. Your raggedy ass wife might let you roll up over there with that fuck shit, but I ain't married to you, and you better not dare play none of my shit over there. You deal with raggedy ass Ashanti who okays that fuck shit, who let you roll up over there with that bullshit. But what the fuck you ain't gonna do is play my voice, name, image, or likeness down to that fuck shit. I dare you. I'm sure that's how that conversation went. Hey, Danny. Yeah, I don't think Patty was gonna let that happen either. I think they had to, for songs like that. I think he probably have to get a lot of clearances. I'm just saying. Right, let the MAGA support you, Cornell. Harold say those are your people now. Godspeed. And that's according to Harold. Why we blaming Ashanti? Because she's sitting at home letting him do this fuck shit. That's her husband. She sat right the fuck at home and said, okay, well, just make sure the check clear. Mm-hmm. It's bullshit. That's why Ashanti is in it. Cause she sat her ass over there and let his bitch ass go over there. Fuck. And I don't give a damn how you feel about it or how she feel about it. Kiss my ass. Right. She just trying to make sure the check clear. Baby, this baby needs some more Similac and some more diapers. You need to go on over there and sing and put on your Sambo slippers and do your best step and fetch routine over there. She probably mad with Kelly. Said, make sure you sing Dilemma. You know they like that. Oh, Kelly said, I can't sing it. Mm-hmm. He ain't shit. Him and his 2.5 inch peen. Child. Cause you know when you got 2.5 inches, you can only do what your wife allows you to do. If you rolling up into the bedroom with 2.5 inches, your wife running the show. Okay, let's be clear. You can't have no bass in your voice when you got 2.5 inches talking to nobody's woman, talking to nobody's wife. So if he went his ass over there and did the honky tonk and the step and fetch routine for Donald John, Ashanti sanctioned that shit. Please be clear. Tanya say that's Ashanti husband that was down to the inauguration, but when he do the right thing, that's hers. That ain't no 5.5, Xavier. We done synced it down. Didn't we see it in the members only chat? We seen it down to the members only chat. It's 2.5. You got to do Kegels on that peen in order to feel something. Real Kegels. Child. The same way Michelle told Barry not to carry his ass round to that inauguration, Ashanti told Cordell. I don't think Ashanti told him that. I think she said, baby, I need this money. Barry's situation is a little different as a former president. Former presidents feel obligated regardless to go because they feel like it's the right thing to do as a former president at an inauguration. They kind of feel obligated. The only ones who don't go are ones that are too sickly to go, like when Jimmy Carter got to the point where he was, he was too sick to go, he wouldn't go. But other than that, former presidents, they have a practice of going, so that's why Barry had to go. But Michelle said, bitch, you got to go. I ain't got to go a fuck place. Make sure you back on time. Don't have me fuck none of them hoes up down to the Washington, D.C. that's trying to get with you. You say her old school tour career is over? Listen, I don't know. You let that man go over there. Oh yeah, they gonna really, they gonna throw him a couple bones and do him a couple favors. Oh, it's all about the money. Damn, the fact that the rights of your children's rights and the rights of black people all over the country are being obviated in droves. We don't give a damn about that. Long as the check clear, that's all the fuck we give a shit about. You saw clips of Hillary Clinton laughing. She was laughing at his ass when he said, "I'm going to. One of my first things I'm going to do is change the name from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America." That's when Hillary Clinton laughed, because she laughed because like, this bitch is not serious. Go back and watch the video. That's when Hillary was laughing, when he said he was changing the name from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, and she laughed like, I know this bitch is not serious. Child. They're gonna throw him a few bones for going down there and doing this Sambo slide. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what we talk about. They was dropped. He went down there to get what he needed to get. Some charger. I'm telling you, Ashanti was okay with it. I'm just being honest. Anyway, I ain't got nothing else for you, Nelly. I ain't got nothing else for you. Anyway, I'm surprised. Let me go back there. I'm surprised that more of y'all didn't watch the I'm surprised more of y'all didn't watch the Chris Brown documentary. The man is out here suing for $500 million. They have nobody. I mean, was it anybody being interviewed, on the documentaries? They have little people like on the Surviving R. Kelly, where they come and say, yeah, he did such and such to me. They'll black out. They'll have them blacked out or try to change the voice and all of that. They ain't have none of them people there. I'm sure it's a whole grocery list of people that can go over there and testify. Oh, it had a lot of lies in it, Antonia, and Xavier. Antonia say she watched it. I ain't watched that shit. I tried to make it through the Diddy one that's on there's a Diddy one on I think that's on Peacock. But child, I'm still trying to make it through the first 10 minutes. Right, I told little baby, I told you, just holler at me when when Chris Brown had a sex tape. And I'm only watching the Chris Brown sex tape to bring it to y'all. I don't want to see that mess. I don't watch all of that filth. What the fuck I look like? I don't watch that filth. I just have to see it so I can report on it, bring it back to y'all so, you know, we can do real investigative reporting over here. I'm just saying, where you been hiding that ravine? And who told you could change your avatar? Ain't nobody told you could change your avatar. Yeah. Oh, it just gave, so it ain't have no people, no witnesses or people who, you know, told their story. Don't judge me, Tracy. You don't know my pain. You don't know what I've been through. Girl. Got a lot of pain over here. Anyway. I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Listen. I'm about to get out of here. We've been on here 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. And we got to go get us something to eat. We got to go get us something to eat. If you enjoyed yourself today, go ahead and put a shondo in the chat. If you enjoyed yourself today, we don't have 80 plus people in here today. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We do this on a daily basis at 5 o'clock, somewhere around 5 o'clock every day. We be around here informing the people, speaking truth to power, and making the people, keeping the people informed of what's ahead of us. That's what we do around here. So, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and press the subscribe button. It ain't gonna hurt you at all. Also, if you are subscribed, consider becoming a member. Listen, the members only chat is where it's at. I'm trying to tell you. The members only chat is where it's at. Chat. Yeah. Shout out to the members. We going on around to the members only chat. To let me see if y'all, I ain't even been on the members only chat today. I ain't really been in there today, so I got to see what y'all put in there. I'm gonna see what kind of stuff y'all put in there. Y'all know the first place I go on the members only chat is the meat market section. See if there's anything else down to the meat market. I need some more y'all to contribute to the meat market section. Jason, I see you ain't put nothing down there to the run me my cooch and run me my coin chat. Child. Yeah. Anyway, we about to get out of here and go to the members only chat. We'll be back here tomorrow. Like I said, at some point, either during the week, maybe on the weekend, at some point, I do want to come down. I do want to go live and give you all a some list of organizations and things, grassroots you can do within your respective areas that can help us in our cause and move the needle, because something's got to give. Something got to give. Okay. As I always say, y'all, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. We about to get out of here. And we'll see you tomorrow. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time. Wait, what comes with the members only chat? Oh, listen. I Complex 613. The members only chat done moved over to Discord. We're not on Instagram anymore. So we got whole different channels within the members only chat that gives you a lot of different things. It's a lot more interactive down to the members only chat now. It's a lot of fun. We even got people like Ravine to come over there and learn how to use the Discord. It's real easy. It ain't hard at all. So yeah. But we about to get out of here. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. Love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.